The Kansas City Bats have come alive in the first two games of the series, giving the Sox a royal whooping with 4 home runs. And the last one, a long home run by Lorenzo Cain, came in the 8th inning last night. And the Royal bullpen has been nothing short of regal, shutting down the Sox with 7 scoreless innings, leaving the Sox black and blue after these 2 games. And today, John Danks puts his career 7-0 record against the Royals on the line as the Sox try to come home on a winning note. Game 3 is next, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We are coming to you from Coppin Stadium in Kansas City, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Alexa Ramirez, Jose Abreu, Avisail Garcia, and our Sox as they get ready to butt heads with the defending American League champion Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. As we get set to bring you the finale of this 3-game set, as you know, they've taken the first 2. They won the opener 10-1, and that 2-run homer in the 8th inning by Lorenzo Cain last night, they won it 7-5. So this afternoon, we're going to run a guy out there who has never been beaten by Kansas City.
We've saved our best for last in the series, and that's Johnny Danks. Couldn't have a better man going to the mound because when you look at the numbers historically against Kansas City, he's been close to untouchable. 7-0 lifetime, but 4-0 in this ballpark. A 2.43 ERA lifetime, but in this park, 173. As you can see, he strikes out a lot of their guys, doesn't walk too many of them, keeps the ball in the ballpark overall, and even though he's changed his arm angle, you'd have to say that Johnny Danks is ready to pilot the first win of the series for the Sox.
Well, last year the Royals did not hit many home runs. They've already hit almost as many as Adrian Gonzalez this year.
Somewhat surprising because although they can run, although they have a tremendous bullpen, although the starting pitching at times is very good, you don't think of them as hitting the ball out of the ballpark. 95 home runs all of last year, the fewest in the major leagues, but this year off to an unbelievable start with the 4 home runs through 2 games. Obviously, Adrian Gonzalez has hit 5, so Kansas City trying to catch up with him. But last night there was one pitch that might have turned the tide, and that was this pitch. After Cain had been hit twice, this pitch in back of LaRoe, he stared out at Danny Duffy. It seemed to ignite the team because right after that, the Sox scored 3 runs, eventually tying the game at 5 and battling their way until the Cain home run. So maybe that one pitch will turn the tide, and maybe the emotions of the ball club will run high today.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful Kauffman Stadium. It is a gorgeous day today. We saw some ominous weather predictions, but so far we haven't seen a whole lot of it. And the same thing held true last night, where there was tornado warnings, but they swept south of the ballpark. No interruptions during the game, as Robin and the boys are looking for win number 1 this year against a very tough Kansas City team. Last year they dominated the Sox, winning 13, losing just 6. And this year it started out more of the same. Kansas City has a little better lineup this year, a little worse starting rotation, the same overwhelming bullpen, and of course speed that usually holds up. For the Sox, the lineup looks a whole lot better, and they'd like to get off to a pretty good start today against Edinson Volquez. And so, knowing the Royals are going to be there all year because of their defense, speed, and bullpen, Sox have to establish the fact that consistently they can bring it to the park every day, have a well-pitched game, and that bullpen will start to come together. So let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the game this afternoon. Adam Eaton leading it off with Melky Cabrera in left field in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu hitting 3rd. Adam LaRoche the DH. Then it's Abisail Garcia, Alexi Ramirez, Connor Gillespie. Giovanni Soto gets his first start of the year. And Micah Johnson will start at second base and hit 9th. The defense. Got a brand new left fielder in Paulo Orlando, former member of the Sox organization. Then it's Kane and Rios in center and right, with Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, Omar Infante, and Eric Hosmer in the infield. Salvador Perez, their Gold Glove winning catcher. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Edinson Volquez. Last year 13-7, an ERA just over 3. Last 3 seasons he's thrown at least 170 innings, so he's been durable. The one thing that the Royals are a bit concerned about is the fact that his strikeouts have gone down. He's got a good straight change. He throws an overhand curveball, which in spring training he had a hard time spotting. That had a lot to do with Arizona, perhaps, hoping to get a little better command as he moves up north. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Bob Davidson behind the plate. David Rackley is at first. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, is at second, and Hundra Wendelstedt is at third. The umpires have had a particularly good series. They've done a good job calling pitches behind the plate. There's been very few arguments, if any, on the base paths. And we're looking for more of the same today. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Finale of this 3-game set. And we need a win. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours, as Adam Eaton will stand in. Edinson Volquez, 31-year-old right-hander, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, out of Santo Domingo. And the first pitch off the plate. Adam 1 for 8 in the first 2 games. Hit sharply down to Hosmer. 1 out. Here at Kauffman Stadium, 330 down the lines, 387 in the gaps, and 410 straightaway center. Here's Cabrera. Like Eaton, he is also 1 for 8 in the series. Pours that one over. That fastball at 94. Here's the base hit. So 1 out, 1 on, and that'll bring up Abreu.
Melky in the 2 spot is going to have a big year. you love to hit in front of Abreu, and more times than not, you'll have a speedy base runner on ahead of you. But Melky from both sides of the plate can get on base.
Jose 2 for 7 with a homer and a double in the first 2 games. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. A little different direction in that wind. Last couple of days been blowing from right to left. Today blowing more from left to right.
All 3 games the wind has blown out, and it's been a much livelier Kansas City ballpark than we've seen in recent years.
He's got the count 2-0.
Volquez, when he's right, does have a pretty good sinker. One problem with a sinker ball pitcher is a lot of adrenaline starting the game, and those sinkers that will yield ground balls later in the game give up a lot of fly balls and line drives early in the game.
No, the way to stop that is get him out of there early. And the count's 3-0. Turn him loose.
Yeah, we've seen 1 3-0 count on the big man in this series, and he hit about a 450-foot foul down the left field line.
Taking all the way. Well, there's some managers that will give some hitters. This is very, very few. Anytime they want to swing the bat, let them swing the bat.
Well, I don't mind it at all. In fact, probably if that was a pitch that had the center cut, he would have swung. But that ball was 95 low and in, but it was on the inside corner and moving. Yeah.
There's a bullet. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a nice play by Fonte. That was an absolute missile off the bat of Abreu. And that'll retire the side after happening to play. The side guys nothing, and their guys coming back.
Kane at the top with Hosmer, Morales, and Rios in the middle, followed by Perez, Orlando, and Infante, 7, 8, and 9. The defense and how they'll line up behind Johnny Danks, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Abasilio Garcia. And it's Connor Gillespie, Lexi Ramirez, Micah Johnson, Jose Abreu in the infield, with Giovanni Soto getting the nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks. Last year, 11-11, a high ERA. Gave up a lot of hits last year and certainly a lot of home runs at 25. Now, before the inning started, Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, went out to talk with Jerry Lane, and they called out Robin Ventura, and Hunter Wendelstedt is still talking with him. Now they're talking with Johnny Danks, and I'm wondering
But it could have been that last play where I thought he caught it in the air. From up here where I'm sitting, I thought he caught it in the air, but it doesn't make any difference.
No, I mean, whether he caught it in the air or not, they flipped to second, and the only thing is, instead of a 4-6-3 double play, it would be a 4-6-3 out at first base. Or L4, you could take that one and take anything you want. The end result is we're out of the inning and Johnny Dakes is warming up, and it's taking more time for him to stand on the mound to figure out what's going on here.
That can't be it, though. I mean that just, it's not that big a thing, because you got a double play anyway.
You know what? One of the things I'm wondering about is if this game might have started under a warning from the last 2 games. Although they wouldn't have to call New York to figure that one out. But this is not the best thing. Number one for Johnny Dakes. He's already taken his warm-ups. He was ready to go, and suddenly he's on the mound taking more pitches than he probably needs and standing around doing very little.
Escobar, the leadoff hitter, is going back into the dugout. Well, when we know, we will let you know what's going on. Well, Jerry Lane had held up his hand, and he caught it, that he was out. So it didn't make any difference.
Unless Robin, talking with Bob Davidson, say, look, if in fact he was out and the umpires didn't call it, that's deceiving the base runner. And he continues then on to second base, where he would have retreated to first or stopped if he saw the arm put up on the line drive. Now they are still talking with New York.
Well, the point being, he went to Escobar.
I know. I mean, if he thought he would have caught it, he probably wouldn't have flipped to second.
Right. I'm just saying, from where I'm sitting, it looked like he caught it in the air, but it still doesn't make any difference because he went there.
Now the best thing that happens if they put Melky back at first base and let LaRoche hit and bring back Edinson Volquez and the team.
Well, we could go for that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good thing.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
no,
we could go for that.
I don't think there's any chance of it happening, but it's just a thought.
They are still.
Well, Robin might be saying, okay, so what you're telling me now is you guys made a mistake and we have to live with it, and my pitcher is still standing out on the mound doing nothing.
Well, that's something that Johnny should have just maybe walked on and off the mound, or walked around the mound for a while instead of continuing to throw. So maybe they have it resolved.
Jerry Lane said to John, are you ready? He says, am I ready? I pitched the first inning already. You want to just start the second?
All right, so here we go. Here's Escobar. He is 4 for 9 in the first 2 games. What new?
He's also scored 4 runs, and when he gets on, and bear in mind, he only had 16 games as a leadoff hitter during the regular season last year, so that audition got him the leadoff spot this year. He's doing it pretty well.
Want to know the count? 2-0.
Escobar played in all 162 last year. Only 4 players in the major leagues did that. The others, Freddie Freeman, Hunter Pence, who won't play in 162 this year, and Evan Longoria.
Two balls, two strikes.
They're playing Escobar a couple of steps toward right center field.
He very seldom hits the ball to center field. He will hit the ball to right center, and then it seems like when he hits it on the left side, but very few up the middle.
Yeah, he'll pull some soft stuff. We've seen that a few times.
2-2 pitch.
That one fouled off his leg.
Oh man. And they're going to get it back in. So the leadoff double. He's now 5 for 10.
This is Escobar at his best. This pitch is on the outer portion of the plate. He reaches out. This would have been two bases anyway, even if Adam picks it up cleanly.
Well, Escobar played in 177 games last year, and he hit .448 against us in 2012. He has been a pain in the derriere. Here's Moustakas. Now in game one, after a double by Escobar, Moustakas bunted him over the third on his own. But the phone lines are down. The replays are from here to New York are not there until they get them fixed. It'll just be what the manager and the umpire see on the field. But all that time to make that decision.
Almost 5 minutes, which certainly does not help the starting pitcher.
No, not at all. And there he's going to get him over again.
When he did it in the first game, Ned Yost said it was not on a signal from him. He did it on his own. If he in fact is doing it on his own, it's still a good solid play. In that scoring the first run of the ball game is always of critical importance. And their bullpen, again, there's a lot of teams that'll hold the lead when they have the lead after 8. Their bullpen last year, when they led after 6, was 65-4. So when they get the lead, it's of critical importance to get it back.
Well, you got Kane at the plate, who's been swinging that bat. He's 4 for 8 with the homer, the game winner last night. And you got a left-hander out there that Moustakas has not had a whole bunch of success against. Get him over.
It's a good play early.
Well, you've won the first 2 games, and the best thing you can do is get on the board early if you want to sweep. And that is out of play. Right side.
Last night, Kane, who had been hit a couple of times in the series, gets a bit of redemption with a huge home run over the bullpen in left field.
One out, man at third, and the 1-1 pitch. Kane has yet to have a base hit off Johnny Danks. But since Moustakas got him over, he doesn't need one.
No, with the infield back at all 4 positions, Robin conceding the early run, feeling it's going to be a little livelier at the ballpark today, and not expecting an overwhelming performance from Volquez.
So the bunt does the job, and it's 1-0 Royals.
RBI number 4 for Kane.
Here's Hosmer. Leadoff double by one of our nemesis, Alcides Escobar. He scores and it's 1-0. That guy. Chuck Garfien on Inside Look, Fishing with Adam Eaton, premiering tomorrow at 1:30 right here on CSN. It's a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. 1-0. Royals. It'll be LaRoche, Garcia, Ramirez. Adam 1 for 4. That ball hit high and deep. Stretch, stretch, get up in that wind. Lorenzo Cain with a magnificent effort and catch, and he hit that wall hard.
That one just missed going out of the park. It was a spectacular catch by Cain, and he just now is getting up. About 1.5 steps before he banged into the wall. He does this quite a bit. The ball almost jarred loose, and a very appreciative pitcher breathing a sigh of relief.
That is nothing new against us for Lorenzo Cain. He has played just about as good a center field against us as anybody we've seen since Kenny Lofton. Kenny at that time with the Cleveland Indians. Here's Garcia. Bobby, 3 for 6.
With all the defensive metrics that they use to measure range and effectiveness going side to side, Cain is 3rd in all of baseball in covering ground. But against us, he looks like he might be the best there is.
Flips that one softly into right field. Rios is there. 2 down. So a 2-out. Let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and the crew. Well, they went with Adam Eaton. Steve, who should have won underneath his name, he won in the opening game. He went with LaRoche and David Novak and all the great folks at Poogie Hyundai in Downers Grove. We're going to go with Micah Johnson. Left side, Moustakas. These guys can throw some weather at you. That's one reason they're defending American League champions. They can cover the last 9 outs and they catch the ball.
Historic start.
First player in Major League history to do that.
5 home runs the first 3.
Kendrys Morales. If you're just joining us, Royals leadoff double by Escobar. Moustakas bunted him over to third, and on a routine ground ball to short with the infield back, he scores. Seems like every time they've had in the first 2 games, certainly in game 1, he gone. Every time they've had a chance to put a run on the board, they did. They executed perfectly.
They've not only done that, but usually it's Escobar getting on and scoring. And certainly they're not going to miss too many defensively. We've seen it early in this game. It's been graphically illustrated, but we've been talking about it since this series started. The fact that day in and day out they catch it as well as anybody and better than most.
Well, there's nobody in the American League that catches it better than they do. You might tie them, but you're not going to beat them. Out in front of that one. So Rios is retired. 2 down. That's why come September, Kansas City's going to be right in the thick of things again.
And this is a man who's helped turn the series around, not with his bat, but with his glove and his arm. He's blocked some low pitches, stopping runs, and then when the Sox have tried to get their running game in gear, Salvador Perez has been there to make some pinpoint throws to second base and almost single-handedly shut down the running game.
Want to know the count. And that's going foul. Salvador 4 for 8 with a couple of RBIs.
Perez signs as a 16-year-old, and the Royals have got themselves a good one. You never really know. I mean, you can scout the ability, look at the parents, maybe figure out how big the young man's going to be, but you don't know if he's going to be a leader, and Perez is just that.
Come on. He's there, makes the catch, softly hit, and the 1-2-3 inning. It is still 1-0 Royals.
Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Gillespie, Soto, and Johnson here in the top of the third inning. They have a run on one hit. We have no runs on one hit. Connor 1 for 2. Takes first pitch strike. One and one to count. Yes, he did. And the count 1-2. And I'd like to send out a couple of big White Sox congratulations, kudos to Maine South High School in Park Ridge. Their dance team, I watched that competition the other day. They were absolutely magnificent. Congratulations to the Maine South dance team, and also to the Lake Forest cheerleaders, who were just sensational in the competition. I believe both of them finished second in the Nationals, and it certainly appeared that both of them were every bit as good as the team that finished in front of them. So congratulations to Lake Forest and Maine South and Park Ridge. Got that one by him at 96.
Opening day at U.S. Cellular Field will again welcome a sellout crowd. For fans joining us at the ballpark tomorrow, be sure to arrive early and don't miss a minute of the action. Parking lots open at 11 a.m. for tailgating. Gates to the ballpark open at 1:10, and be sure to be in your seats by 2:25 for the start of an exciting opening day ceremony.
There's a strike. Giovanni making his first appearance in the series. At the plate. Yeah, those dance teams and cheerleaders, you're talking about hard work, putting the hours and the time in. Our daughter was the captain of the cheerleaders when she was in high school at Dr. Phillips in Orlando, and they worked their behinds off. A lot of guys think football, basketball, and baseball are tough. I don't think they're as tough as that. 2-2.
Oakland started his career in 2002. First on the scene with the Texas Rangers in 2005 and was a really highly thought of prospect in those days before getting traded to Cincinnati, where he went 17-6 in 2008.
High right side. Infante stays with it, makes the catch. 2 down.
Royals need a little better communication as Hosmer can't get to it. Infante has a pretty good angle, and he's calling for it. Almost collides with Rios, who finally gives way at the end.
Here's Micah. Outfield slightly to the left. His first at bat on opening day here. That ball hit high and deep into center field. Stretch, keep on going. Stretch, stretch. He's back and hits the wall, makes that catch. Almost just missed it. And we'll go to the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0. Mercy.
During their morning dive at Caribbean Reef, the Shark, Jeff Samardzija, makes his first Sox start on Saturday. His fans at the Shed are eagerly anticipating the Sharks' appearance against the Twins.
Former Sox farmhand Paulo Orlando.
They were interviewing him about what it was like when he called his wife and told her he had made the major league team. That's after 9 years in the minor leagues. He said, I don't know, we didn't talk, we just both cried.
Well, he's a nice young man, and when we had him, he absolutely was the quickest guy in our system. He could really run. One pitch.
The reason he's in there today is that Alex Gordon, four-time Gold Glover, two-time All-Star, and a factor in this series, had wrist surgery in the offseason. When he plays day after a night game, the wrist gives him some problems, so Ned Yost giving him the day off. and giving Orlando an opportunity.
It's up high, 2-2. Well, Gordon did not start seeing action in spring training until late.
And they are a much better team with him in the lineup. Paulo now is the third Brazilian to see action in the major leagues.
First major league at bat. Full count.
Andre Rienzo, you might remember him, the Sox starter. Yan Gomes, the Indians catcher. And now Paulo Orlando.
Oh, dreaded leadoff walk.
Infante doesn't have a hit yet, and one of the things you think about when a guy might be pressing even a veteran is putting on a hit and run. That being said, with the move of Johnny Danks, which is a very good one to first base, he might have a shot at picking off Orlando.
Just a modest lead, and he takes first pitch strike. Infante 0 for 8, 33-year-old veteran infielder.
Garcia very shallow in right field over toward the line.
Broken bat into center field. So the leadoff walk has Johnny Danks in trouble.
Sox fans, opening day is tomorrow. Well, actually, it's at 3:10 versus the Twins. All fans ages 21 and over will receive the 2015 White Sox magnetic schedule presented by Miller Lite, the official light pilsner and official beer of your Chicago White Sox.
Here's Escobar. He doubled leading off the first. Well, the Royals was bunted over to third and scored. Micah almost didn't get there. Good job by Gillespie taking his time, double popping, give him a couple more steps.
I think Connor might have had a shot at second base if he went that way, as Infante doesn't have great speed. And as it turned out, just barely making the play. And avoiding a collision, so another successful sacrifice.
Well, with their lineup, this is what they've got to do. Scratch for every run they can. 95 home runs last year, fewest in the major leagues.
And if you're called on to execute, make sure you do just that. Had two opportunities to bunt. They bunted successfully twice.
Stay in here. High pop up, bring it back. It will. 2 down. Thank you, wind.
This wind blowing out toward right center field, pushing this ball back toward the field of play. Jose stays right with it. '85 World Series champion Kansas City Royals, and then It wasn't until last year when they reemerged in the playoffs. That was a long drought.
Here's a man swinging a hot bat, as he has done in this series and last year against us. Lorenzo Cain knocked in his 4th run with that ground ball to short. Well, they're about the poster child for teams to offensively. Don't do anything spectacular. Just get on, get him in, or get him over and get him in. The rudiments of the game.
They play small ball exceptionally well and have the bullpen to make it hold up.
And that's into left center field. Watch out. Now, attaboy. Adam calls him off, makes a catch. That'll retire the side sweep. Gets in trouble and gets out of it. Against the division leading Blues. So Chevy Blackhawks pregame live against the 6:30 on CSN Chicago.
Have to avenge that 2-1 loss they just suffered at the hands of the Blues.
Top of the order here in the top of the 4th. Adam Eaton takes first pitch strike. That one at 93.
Now they've seen Volquez. They realize the movement of the fastball should be a better time through the lineup the second time through.
That's a can of corn for that man. Well, it would have been a little different first time around for our guys had not it been for Lorenzo Cain.
He's made 2 very good catches, one of them a spectacular catch.
Yeah. Here's Cabrera. Has her only hit, that single. Breaking ball strike.
Volquez has a pretty good curveball, and now that he's moved north and gotten away from Arizona, he's going to get the most he can out of it.
Another can of corn. That'll bring up Abreu. He hit a rocket. Just an absolute bullet into a double play.
Edinson credits Johnny Danks with teaching him how to speak English. Said they were roommates 4 years in a row. And he'll always be indebted to John for that. Making the way a whole lot easier for a youngster. Signed as an 18-year-old.
Well, I think a lot of organizations could help those youngsters, those young Latins coming in who don't speak English, by having, to me, I mean, it's just get them a Rosetta Stone. You're minor league coaches and instructors, and let them learn a little Spanish. I mean, that's not asking a whole bunch.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have moved that way, and certainly the White Sox have been at the forefront of helping out their young Latino players coming over, making it a lot easier for them.
White Sox have been at the forefront of a lot of changes, helping players, especially Latins. There's another bullet. That's in the gap, and that's going to go for a double.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it is a drive off the bat of Adam LaRoche. Looked like it was for extra bases, but Lorenzo Cain had other ideas. Got about a step and a half, and then bang. This ball was in the web of the glove when he hit the wall. He was able to secure it, hold on to it, and make the play lead off the inning.
I got a feeling this guy's going to have a big season for us. And of course, that means that Abreu is going to have a better year. Yeah, the White Sox were the first drug-free organization in baseball. And I mean, that goes Reinsdorf down. That was instituted a long time ago. You work for the White Sox, that's a no-no. Garcia on deck, 2 out. Jose at second, 2-1 to count to Adam.
Big run to pick up, because there's not much that helps a ball club more than 2 out runs batted in.
Flips that one into left field. And man, not going to be able to get there even with all that speed. So 2-2.
Perez now goes out to have a word with Volquez. You would think, at least for this pitch, he would try to get him out of the strike zone.
That'll do it. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is 1-0 Kansas City.
features savings off 2015 individual game ticket prices. Pick 7 plans start as low as $55 per plan. For tickets or more information, visit whitesox.com or call 312-674-1000.
No one pitch to Hosmer, and that's laced into left field. So the leadoff man aboard.
Hosmer's using a little lower leg kick these days, and he believes that it's going to help him stay on more pitches. There's no reason why he can't hit in the neighborhood of 300, and the Royals have always believed that he should be a 20-plus home run man.
Here's Kendrys Morales. Starting to cool off a little bit as clouds roll in.
And that wind has started to pick up, blowing even more insistently to the right field corner.
Way out in front on that change.
Johnny can just throw a ground ball. Morales cannot run at all. It'll be an easy double play.
Well, doubled him up. Broke, don't fix it. 0-2.
Last year he missed all of spring training due to injuries and hit just .218. Royals believe when they sign him that he's going to have a pretty big year in the middle of a talented lineup.
Boy, he got a Lance Johnson jump right there.
And it's a great thing that Morales was having to protect at 0-2. That pitch was well off the outside corner. If he takes it, Soto has no chance at Hosmer. That one, after seeing a steady diet of changeups, will stop you from leaning over the plate.
And that changeup popped up in the center field. 1 out. Our home opener tomorrow, 3:10 start. The Hector Noesi against Tommy Malone. Southpaw for Minnesota. On Saturday, Samardzija against Mike Pelfrey. And on Sunday, Chris Sale against Bill Hughes. A couple of, well, our ace and their ace going in that one.
It'll be great to see Chris Sale back on the mound. He expects that there's not going to be that much of a pitch limit on him, as he threw all of his pitches and went 6 innings.
Obviously, besides his way above average stuff, he brings a lot more to a ball club than just that. He brings that element of competitiveness, camaraderie, terrific teammate. A lot of the characteristics of Mark Burley on a little better stuff.
What I like about him was they asked him, you know, you only pitch against minor league competition. Is this going to be a change for you? And he said, it's still a body in the batter's box. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You make good pitches, you get them out. I like that, the body in the batter's box.
That's high off the bat of Rios. 2 down. Well, baseball has a habit over the years, I know in all my time, over a half century in this game, that Comparisons are always made. What if Mark Burley had Chris Sale's stuff?
Of Chris Sale had Mark Burley's stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, if you got Mark Burley's stuff, you've got to go out there and really learn how to pitch and learn how to hit your spots perfectly.
That ball hit high and deep. Adam back. He's got room. Thank you, Win. And that'll retire the side. We're into the fifth, trailing 1-0.
White Sox take on these dreaded Royals. Also, first 20,000 fans will receive a Jose Abreu 2014 Rookie of the Year blanket presented by Beggar's Pizza. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com/promos.
Top of the fifth inning, 1-0 bad guys as Avi will lead it off. He'll be followed by Ramirez. So far, Edison Volquez has shut us down on 2 hits. There's a strike.
First 3 times out in spring training, Volquez really struggled. Had no command. The changeup wasn't good. The curveball was non-existent. But when you look at his numbers, you realize that he's a pretty capable pitcher, and the Royals didn't seem to be worried, especially after the last 2 times out. He threw great.
Had him way out in front on that one. But as usual, Avi busting it down that line. That's 1 down. Here's Alexei. Hit a ball to the left, and Moustakas is the third, who made a terrific diving play on and threw him out. That ball hit hard in the center field, but he got a terrific jump, makes it easy. That's the fifth ball that Alexei has hit hard in this series. And he's 0 for 7.
This is a big park unless you're pulling it down the line. Using left center to right center, you got a guy out in center field that can go get him, and a spacious ballpark. And today, with the wind blowing toward right, it's held up a couple of shots, notably Perez's ball to left center.
Gillespie takes strike 1. Breaking ball, no. One-two pitch.
One of the reasons why you need an outstanding defense is per square foot. Kauffman Stadium has the most fair territory of any stadium in the American League. There's a lot of room to go get them. It's a great doubles and triples park.
1-2-3 inning. Another strikeout. And we're halfway home, trailing 1-0. As here's Paulo Orlando making his second major league at bat. First one he walked. Takes a strike. Checking some other action for you. Bottom of the third in Houston. Cleveland leading the Astros 2-0. And that's in the gap. That man can absolutely pick him up and lay him down. Leadoff triple. First major league hit.
We talked about this being a good doubles and triples park. This was a straight change, but it was down and over the middle of the plate. Splits the outfielders, and then Orlando just turns it on. He's thinking 3 bases. And that baseball will go on his shelf. 9 years in the minor leagues, waiting for that moment right there. And the fans give him a standing ovation. A study in persistence, and tingles up his spine undoubtedly.
Infante, he singled for his first hit of the season. A little soft off the end of the bat. Center field. Infield is in. And the count 2-0.
Giovanni goes out to have a word with John.
That souvenir right side. 2-1. And the count 2-2.
With the departure of Billy Butler, number 16 became available. Butler wore it for quite some time here in Kansas City. Number 16 never moved quite that quickly.
High pop up infield. And that's out number 1.
Your local Ford stores are proud to present the opening day Ford Drive Around tomorrow at U.S. Cellular Field. Be sure to arrive early and see the introduction of your favorite Chicago White Sox players and coaches presented by your local Ford stores. Together, we'll go further.
Here's one of our nemesis, Alcides Escobar. He doubled to lead off the bottom of the first and came around to score. What new?
If John can throw that cutter and keep it in on his hands, he's going to get a little tapper to the left side. With the infield in, you just as soon keep it down. You want to throw a ground ball if you can. This guy has been awfully tough for the last couple of years against our ball club.
Another pop up, Micah. Now it's Avi. Micah had too far to go playing in, but Avi was playing him short like he should, and that's out number 2.
Well, Micah was racing to get to the baseball, and fortunately he just ran by Avi. I mean, he was a blur as he streaked by him.
There's Moustakas. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, and he popped up to Abreu in the third.
This is a very big out. Still a 1-run game, and that bullpen is looming.
Popped up, and that'll be back and out of play. Yes, innings like this that can be a momentum changer.
Man at third, nobody out. If you can leave him right there, that's a huge shot of adrenaline for the entire ball club.
Kane on deck. Micah back out on the grass and right field. That ball hit hard. And caught! mercy. What a play by Adam Eaton. You got to be blaming me. Wow. One of the best catches you will ever see. Mercy. Look at Johnny. Did not.
A ball that was knuckling over his head. The toughest play for a center fielder is one hit right back over his head. He leaps up, full extension, and holds it back to show the umpire, yes, indeed, I do have it. Much to the delight of everybody in this park but Moustakas. But a very appreciative Johnny Danks gave him a hug as he came in.
And the fans gave him a huge ovation. Boy, that is absolutely one of the best catches you will ever see. So here's Giovanni. Still 1-0. Top of the 6th inning. First pitch strike. Two outstanding center fielders in this series. Maybe the best two shortstops in the league in this series. First rule in baseball is you got to catch the ball. We have seen some outstanding plays today. Out of play right side, 0-2. Giovanni 0 for 1 popped up. Omar Infante at second. Fourth strikeout for Edinson Volquez.
No walks, just a couple of hits. Single by Cabrera in the first, a ringing double by Abreu in the fourth, and that's been it. However, some hard hit balls, but into the teeth of one of the best defenses around.
Here's Micah. He hit the ball very hard his first trip, taking Kane back against the wall in center field.
Changing speeds as he does, having a good sinker, makes that four-seam fastball look that much faster because he's got a good curveball, and you have to respect that. He's thrown his four-seamer at 93, 94 miles an hour, which is certainly enough when you factor in the curveball, the straight change, and a sinker that's been pretty good today.
Plenty of time. 2 down. So a nice round of applause for Adam Eaton. Adam 0 for 2. He's grounded to first and gone out to center. Deep. And yet another fine catch by Lorenzo Cain.
We need base runners, and we haven't seen an Eaton bunt yet. As has been their custom, they have Moustakas in even with the bag at third, but Hosmer well in back of the bag at first.
Watch out. Well, 2 good ball clubs. I wish we could say it was the umpiring.
No, it certainly isn't that.
No. It has been a really well umpired series. Three and 0. Cabrera on deck. There's one. And no Infante. And they just do get him. Meanwhile, there's 7 in a row retired by Volquez.
First 20,000 fans will receive a Chicago White Sox welcome mat. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos or calling 866-SOX-GAME. It's the middle of the order. Cain, Hosmer, and Morales to face Johnny Danks, who is on the short end of a 1-0 game. Only been 6 hits combined. It's been an errorless game.
And some terrific defense. Oh, and 1 to count. Cain. That ball hit deep. over the head, so the leadoff double.
Lorenzo Cain has had some series, both with the bat, with the legs, and with the glove. And this time Adam cannot catch up to it. It's rifled over his head. That's 5 of the first 6 leadoff hitters to reach base against Johnny Danks, and only 1 fortunately has scored, and that was Escobar leading off with a double. Now Hosmer, who can hit the ball, and we've seen it today, to left or left center field, should be doing everything he can to try to pull it in this situation.
Or he should be, and he will be. Try to get out and around that one. The guy in this left-handed hitter who's big and strong like Hosmer, in this situation, one of the best places you can throw him is down in the end. He's got pull on the mind.
And he swung at a pitch that was a good 6 inches off the plate.
That's what'll happen. You saw it down and in. He's going to get the job done. So 1 out. Infield in for Kendrys Morales, who has struck out and gone out to center. Yeah, but when you throw it down and in, it can't be a strike. It's got to be off, in and off the plate. That ball hit hard. So the double by Morales, and it's 2-0.
RBI number 2 this year for Morales. He got one just above knee high, but right over the middle of the plate. And no chance for Melky. So a couple of rockets hit here in the 6th inning.
Alex Rios has grounded to third and gone out to center, and here comes Coop. Johnny Danks, if you're just tuning in, 7-0 in his career against Kansas City, and has pitched well here this afternoon.
Javi Guerra, who threw an inning last night, gave up a couple of hits with no runs throwing in the pen. What a great pitching matchup as the Mets took on Washington. It was Harvey against Strasburg.
Oh boy.
Harvey went 6, gave up 4 hits, struck out 9, walked just 1. What a triumphant return for a very talented right-handed fireballer who's still throwing 97-98 even after the surgery that sidelined him for a little over a year plus actually. Strasburg went 5 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned. He's on the short end of a 6-2 score.
Long peg. 2 down. Yeah, there's one that if I was in the vicinity, I'd definitely go see that one.
That's one to go watch, is right.
So here's a tough customer stepping into that box, Salvador Perez. He's gone out to right and gone deep to center. 2-6-0 for them, 0-2-0 for us. Count evens at 1. Another nice crowd. They had a little over 40,000 in the opener. And had 23,385 last night.
Last year they just barely finished under 2 million, and the fans really caught the fever about second week of August. This year they expect to draw well over 2 million. An exciting team, and I think the fans have rediscovered the Royals. They were very supportive for a long time with some great teams in the 80s. Obviously not being in the playoffs since '85 has soured a few of them, but now a lot of enthusiasm everywhere you go all over town. People sporting the Royals colors.
Yeah, in '85, Cardinals were up 3-1 against Kansas City. Kansas City came back and beat them. I-70 World Series. Two out in the payoff pitch. That ball hit deep. It is 4-0.
Well, but for the win, Perez would have had a pair today because he crushed a ball as the final out of the 4th inning. Wynn knocked it down, but that time nothing could knock that one down. His first home run of the year. He's now driven in 4. And that's going to be it for Johnny Danks. Our Ford home run replay. It's a changeup that he got up and out over the plate. And Perez puts a charge into it.
Well, so far things just not going to plan, according to plan. So Danks will depart, and we'll be back.
World Series by purchasing a commemorative brick in Championship Plaza at U.S. Cellular Field. A limited number of bricks are available. For more information, visit WhiteSoxCharities.org/brickplaza.
Paulo Orlando to face Avi. He has walked and he has tripled. That's his first major league hit.
The day is done for Johnny Danks, who went 5 2/3, gave up 4 runs, all earned, 7 hits, a walk, and a strikeout, along with that 1 home run. Only 5 players in Royals history have had their first major league hit a triple.
At the corner, right at the knees, pitcher's pitch. Well, Paolo last year started in center field in the AAA Coast League All-Star game. Count evens at 2.
Well, the choice for Dayton Moore was carry an extra pitcher or an outfielder. Well, when you've got a bullpen like he has, you really don't need the extra pitcher. You need another move off the bench, and that was a decision that allowed Orlando to make the ball club. So inadvertently, for Paolo, a great bullpen has enabled him to see some time in the major leagues. And if he never sees another day, it'll be a very successful stint for him.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Softly hit, and that'll retire the side, but Salvador Perez got a cookie, didn't miss it. 2-run homer, and they lead it 4-0. White Sox. Flashback to the remarkable moments and memories from the historic World Series championship, and hear the story from the players and coaches that made it happen. Believe, the CSN original production, premieres Sunday night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Not a whole lot of water around here except at the ballpark. And with the wind, it's blowing the water every which way.
We need some runs. We trail at 4-0. We only have 2 hits off Volquez.
I'd like to send along best wishes to a good friend of mine, Michael Berman, looking on in Scottsdale. He's got a group of octogenarians who watch each and every White Sox game. Big fans.
Count evens at 1.
Need a little housekeeping in front of home plate, so Bob Davidson's going to go out there. Actually figures that Salvador Perez probably moves a bit better at this point. Lets him handle it.
Off the glove, deflected slightly right to Escobar.
That's a base hit if it doesn't hit the glove. But unfortunately, Volquez just swung it around with an intention maybe of catching it, but he's able to deflect it right at Escobar.
Well, that's the way the things are going right now. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. Right now, we're playing a team that's catching a lot of breaks. They certainly did in game 1 when they beat us 10-1 with all those soft base hits that fell in, broken bats. And when you do, you're just going to get beat. That's baseball. Abreu. But they have earned those 2 first victories. There's no question about that.
Well, they're getting what they need today because they've used the bullpen the last couple of ball games. Last night it was Frazier, Herrera, Davis, and Holland. First game it was Herrera, Davis, and Madsen because they didn't need a closer up 10-1. So a long outing in the first start of the year is what Ned Yost would have wanted for Edinson Volquez, and that's what he's got. Matt Alberts loosening up in the bullpen.
Three and 1. Full count.
Follow live White Sox baseball in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the White Sox all season wherever you are with the MLB.TV Game of the Day. Browse the app's new features including StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Here's Adam. Warning is given. We're going to have some exciting games with Kansas City this year.
You would think so. And we're going to see him for 4 games at home. We talked to you about the 25th. Adam probably wondering, what exactly has he done wrong? He had one thrown behind him, then he gets hit.
Well, he's just been the wrong man in the right spot.
Yeah.
Both times. No out. Check that. 2 out, nobody on.
For those of you who might be interested in seeing that Kansas City series, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 23rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of April. So it's coming up soon.
Well, baseball is built on great players, tradition, and great rivalries.
This could easily become one.
It's going to.
Assuming that things get a little better than they've started out for our Sox.
Well, they're going to. We've got a good ball club. Two and one.
When I was a member of the Southside Hitmen in 1977, and Kansas City was a terrific ball club, we had the lead for 4.5 months. And our games with Kansas City were intense, to say the least. Unfortunately, they caught us and then just flew on by, as the defense of the Southside Hitmen was pretty well non-existent. We could hit, we just couldn't catch it.
Well, you're going to lose.
And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I think Alan Bannister and George Order still looking for that first double play from that year.
That's cold.
Well,
that's cold.
Alan was a terrific hitter, but Alan be the first to tell you that he couldn't throw the ball. He had a bad arm. He made 40 errors at shortstop. Basically needed a cutoff man from short to first. And we had a dandy defense, but scored a whole lot of runs, making it a very exciting team.
I know that Detroit was, when I was with the Red Sox and the Indians, Detroit was our team that we had some very, very intense games with.
Detroit had a lot of teams that they had some personality problems with. They get in a lot of brawls.
Well, it seemed like, I know it wasn't, but it seemed like every time we played them, we got into a fight with them. Every series. I mean, in fact, we, before the game, shows up and paired up inside our clubhouse. Steve, all right, you're going after this guy. Hawk, you're going after that guy. Jimmy, you're going after that guy.
Right.
And that's the way it went.
I would have gone after Ernie Harwell, because the rest of those Detroit Tigers in my era were gigantic. Did you get Frank Howard? Did you get paired up with him?
No. I got paired up with Willie Horton.
Willie was frighteningly tough.
Alvin Dark was the one who was doing the pair, and I said, thanks, Alvin.
Thanks. I can remember when we played them, and I was on the 73 White Sox, left them and came back 77. They had Frank Howard and Willie Horton and Ike Brown and Gates Brown and Bill Freehand. And those guys by themselves, they didn't need the other 19. Those guys by themselves could come out and take care of a team. In fact, Frank Howard and Willie Horton might be able to come out and take care of a team.
Well, I saw Willie when they beat up the whole Boston team when he was with Seattle. They grew up by Alexei. Finally, it took Jim Rice to come out and try to calm him down a little bit.
But he did get a letter from the commissioner at that point. Said that anywhere you are, if a fight breaks out, you have to go right to the locker room, or you will be suspended.
Well, it was a tough guy. He was heavyweight Golden Glove champs there a couple times in Detroit. There's a broken bat flare. Yeah, we're going to get on the board. So that hit batsman coming with nobody on and 2 out comes around the score. And we're going to have the tying run come to the plate.
Didn't get a whole lot of it, but got enough to ease it over the head of Moustakas into left field. Second run batted in for Ramirez this year. The bullpen now is just starting to go, so Gillespie's going to have his chance, and he's going to have to face Volquez.
Well, one swing of the bat, and we got a tied Wago.
Especially with the wind now dying down somewhat. It was blowing straight out to right, and I think it still will carry. If you look at the flags in left field, they're blowing across. So it's going to aid a fly ball toward the bullpen.
Last year, show you how strong that bullpen was. When leading after 7 innings, the Royals were 72-1. 72-1.
And 65-4 when leading after 6. So if you can get these boys tied, you got a shot.
Well, that's why today the culture of the game is that make a difference how good your starters are. It's a battle of bullpens.
This happens so many times, and it's unusual to see it with a veteran like Volquez, and that is you're sailing along, nobody's touching you. Now, you take a measure of retribution by hitting somebody. Takes your concentration away. It happened with Danny Duffy. He gave up 3 runs after throwing one behind Adam LaRoche, and he had retired the first 5 guys easily. And it seems to be happening now with Volquez, so a good time to take advantage of him.
A change-up misses. Well, you have, as I have, seen certain pitchers when the manager told them to drill somebody or throw at somebody, it just rattles them.
Yeah.
They don't like it. They don't want to do it. Other guys love to do it. It doesn't bother them. Some guys it really rattles.
Well, when the culture was different years back, it didn't bother that many pitchers. Now, because it doesn't happen very much, there's a lot of guys that will get taken out of their game plan,
Sure.
out of their rhythm.
That's right. Flips that one into left field and get down. It won't. That speed of Paulo Orlando makes a big play right there. But we get on the board. 7th inning stretch. We trail it 4-1.
On the right, Lorenzo Cain on the left. Both fortunately come away unscathed. And just 2 magnificent plays. So Matt Albers comes into the ball game. He'll be trying to hold it at a 3-run deficit. It's a 4-1 game. And Albers last year in limited action was pretty good.
Infante, 1 for 2, picked up his first hit in this series. Be an error and the leadoff man aboard.
This ball hit hard, but it's right at Connor. Unfortunately, scoots away a little farther than he would have liked. And Infante, with good but not great speed, able to beat the play at first.
There's Escobar. A leadoff double in the first, a sacrifice bunt in the third, and a pop up to right in the fifth. Takes low ball 1. Now one of those outstanding Venezuelan shortstops. La Sabana.
His hero, couldn't pick a better one, Omar Vizquel.
A definite Hall of Famer. There he goes. And that ball into left field. Infante.
Well, he does a nice job because he rounded second base, actually rounded second base by 3 steps. As soon as he saw Cabrera start to catch the baseball, he retouched second base. He's a veteran player and a good heads-up player, realizing he had to retouch and scampers back easily.
Yeah, you can do that when you get a left fielder going into that position.
I don't want to do that on Melky as he's setting up and coming in on it, though.
No, you're not going to do it when he's doing that. But when he's going away from it, you got plenty of time to round second and get back. Moustakas takes first pitch strike. Wind still blowing very briskly out to right field. Right to left. Except that left to right. Yeah, Vizquel and Alomar. What a combination that was. Alomar might be the best second baseman this game has ever seen. High pop up. Two down. So here's Lorenzo Cain. He's 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, and he's knocked in a run. First pitch strike. Just a touch low.
For the third time in as many games, Kelvin Herrera loosening up.
Well, there's a good chance that come June, some of those guys down that bullpen are going to be able to brush their teeth.
If he keeps using the same three-headed monster, that could be.
And that's putting that phrase nicely.
Well, the one guy coming back that might help him with the workload is Luke Hochevar, because Hochevar got hurt, filled the same job that Wade Davis did, moving from the rotation to the pen. If Hochevar can come back with anything close to what he had a couple of years ago, he can give him another dependable power arm to get them to Holland.
There goes the runner. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball hit sharply, sucked up. The force, and that'll do it. Went to the 8th. 4-1, Kansas City.
Miller Lite, and our Miller moment is Paulo Orlando. First major league hit in this his 10th professional season, first in the major leagues. That is one excited young man. He's got a souvenir. He's also made a fine play in left field, so it's been an auspicious debut for a man who spent a great deal of time getting here. And now he's got to try to stay here.
The Alex Rios look-alike. As I mentioned, he was really when he was with us, I talked to him several times. He's really a nice young man. Like to have seen him do it against somebody else, though. Having a little trouble out there with the mound.
Well, there was no problem when it was Johnny Danks, because a right-hander and a left-hander are going to make different holes when they plant that front foot on the delivery. But after the two right-handers, Guerra and Albers, it tore up in the same spot that Volquez has been using all game, and so Ned Yost, wanting to make sure that everything is to the liking of his starting pitcher.
like Volquez wants him to break it down and rebuild it for him. They used to do that at Dodger Stadium after every game. Tear the mound down, and rebuild it for the next day's pitcher the way he liked it.
We had the same situation in Baltimore with a great groundskeeper by the name of Pat Santarone. First time I'd ever heard it, I got there and he asked me how I liked my mound. And of course, from 1969 on, it was 10 inches high. I said, well, I like my mound 15 inches if you can make it that high. He says, no, we can't. We got to stick within the framework of the 10 inches. But so I told him I wanted to cut off the front of the mound as quickly as possible. Being a curveball pitcher, I wanted to get on the flat ground as quickly as I could. And that's what he did. For Jim Palmer, who was a high fastball pitcher, he had a very gentle slope. And Jim then would throw high fastballs, and it worked very well. And it worked very well for starting pitchers of Baltimore at the time, but it might not have worked particularly well for the visiting pitcher coming in. So they're spending some time digging a trench, and then they're going to pound it down. Hopefully there is the requisite amount of clay in there.
Well, you try to tailor your park for your players, mounds for the pitchers, and they extended the warning track we were talking about earlier out there for Lorenzo Cain, so he might have a little better chance of slowing up before he hit the wall.
Of not banging into every fence that he ran toward. Of course, that didn't help him that much today, but let's see if that foothold is going to work now for Volquez.
If you're just tuning in, they scored 1 in the first, 3 in the sixth. Highlighted by a 2-run homer. Salvador Perez. He scored our run in the top of the 7th.
Just 82 pitches at this point for Volquez, but just in case, they got the bullpen up and ready to go.
So here's Bonifacio hitting for Soto. Was watching Emilio prior to the game and batting practice. He just loves to have fun on that baseball field. Jacks it up and takes ball 1. Outfield straight up there, short and center and left. Rios straight away and normal in right. Moustakas right at the cut of the grass at third. Hosmer halfway and off the line at first, playing him perfectly, and ball was hit sharply by Emilio. Meanwhile, 1 out.
Bonifacio getting a chance to hit against the team he played for. He was in Kansas City in 2013.
Terrific personality Bonifacio has. Loves to laugh, loves to smile.
I think he's also at the point where he accepts the role that he's been given, and acceptance is the first step toward excelling at it. You're constantly frustrated you're not starting any place. You're not going to do well in a reserve role or a swingman.
Want to know the count to Micah Johnson. 2-0. Yeah, I think this series has set the tone for some exciting games against Kansas City this season.
Those numbers in the minor leagues last year were pretty good.
Three and one. Got a meeting on deck as we do need some base runners.
Gordon Beckham, who got a start last night, came through with a couple of hits and drove in a run.
Ball hit deep in the left field over his head. So we talked about it earlier. He's going to burn some guys out there. He has got some pop to the opposite field.
Came very close to hitting a home run in the third inning, and that time just drilled it over the head of Orlando.
So David Novak's pick to click, and all the good folks at Poogie Hyundai in Downers Grove on second base. Here's Adam. Adam 0 for 3. He's grounded to first, going out deep to center. Good catch by Kane, and grounded to second.
At the 90 pitch mark, there's been a couple of very hard hit balls this inning.
That's high.
Ghost is being uncharacteristically patient.
Escobar. 2 down, Johnson in the third. So here's Cabrera. We need to score that run. Cabrera 1 for 3, had a single in the first inning, then flied to center in the fourth. And last inning leading off, grounded out 1-6-3. Curveball.
Elke looks back to Bob Davidson. That one looked like a pitch he hasn't called all day. The high, just barely touching the zone.
That one stayed outside, so count evens at 1.
Trying for a backdoor breaking ball, but even though Perez eased it into the zone, it was wide of the plate.
A little soft fly in the left, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 3.
Ball game. David Robertson. It's his 30th birthday. Coincidentally, wearing number 30. He's got to face the heart of the order and try to preserve a 3-run deficit before getting a shot at that very tough Kansas City closer, Greg Holland. One 4-1 for our Sox. 4-7-0 for the Royals.
They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the sixth. Our run came in the seventh. Hosmer, Morales, Rios. Hosmer 1 for 3, a single, leading off the fourth. And there is a poster child for a duck snort. Ate him up. You got to check those fingernails down there, Hosmer.
It's Holland if it stays a 3-run lead, and it's Madsen if it's extended beyond that. We saw Madsen in the opener, pitching for the first time since 2011.
Outfield for the most part straight up, maybe just a small gap out there. Right center. Ball gets away. Flowers. No chance.
Tries to backhand that and can't smother it.
That changes Morales' approach. Wind still howling now from left to right. Takes a strike and the count's 3-1.
Dan Jennings starting to get loose.
That 93-mile-an-hour fastball foul straight back. For our guys, we got the heart of the order coming up in the ninth. Abreu, LaRoche, Garcia, Ramirez. He gone, comes back from a 3-0 count. Nice job for David. Had him completely fooled.
Got him on a soft breaking ball out of the zone. He does not get the job done. Moving along Hosmer with nobody out.
So here's Rios. He's grounded to third, flied to center, and grounded to short. Takes that fastball at 93. 0-1. There he goes.
That one stole very much on Robertson in that he only looked back once. Good timing on the part of Hosmer. There was nothing Tyler Flowers could have done on that one. He just realizes that Robertson's not looking at him, takes off and beats the play.
Now the infield comes in. The ball and 2 strikes. Coming to the plate. He gone. 2 down.
Infield in, and Robertson gets the ground ball he needs. Good solid tag at the plate. And it's still a 3-run deficit.
Here's Salvador Perez. 1 for 3, but it was a big one, a 2-run homer. Got a mistake by Johnny Danks on a change up. He didn't miss it. Actually, one of the few mistakes that Johnny made today.
All in all, threw the ball pretty well.
He's okay. He's back.
Only walked 1. Control was good.
But we've talked about it many times. Every time he goes out there, as a matter of fact, keeps the changeup down. He's good. As there goes Reyes, he's going to steal it. But when Johnny gets it up, they don't miss it. Locked. Four 8-0 for them. 1-4-1 for us. Count evens. Two pitch. And City last year with 153 stolen bases. That led to major leagues. Payoff. Salvador
took a healthy cut at that.
He's having trouble fouling that off his left leg, ankle, and foot.
He's also fouled one off his knee in this series, so front leg is taking a beating.
Checks it up. Takes it well inside for ball 4. Well, danger in that continual fouling of balls off that front foot is that you have a chance to get blood clots in there. As here comes Robin. Two on, two out. We had a catcher when I was playing in Kansas City here named Bill Bryan. He used to do that, left-handed hitter. He used to foul him off that front foot of his. He had to have a doctor come in, and Lance, one of the spots, pulled the blood clot out of there about as big as a quarter.
That must have been fun.
Well, we had a big group that were viewing it, you know. It was like an amphitheater.
Cheering him on?
Oh, yeah. Giving him some moral support.
Yeah, I'll bet.
There's Paulo Orlando. A walk, a triple. And a little soft line drive to second. Bob Davis has been doing some work out there in front of the plate that he shouldn't be having to do. But he's doing it to expedite matters. So here we go. Takes ball 1. Gets him, and that'll retire the side. So a good job by Robertson pitching out of it. We'll go to the 9th. We got the right guys coming up. We trail it 4-1. Here on Comcast Sportsnet, coverage starts at 2 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Alexis of Orland.
And Greg Holland comes into the ball game in search of his second save, and this is his second opportunity. Got to go right through the heart of the order. The man that saved 46 last year and 47 the year before.
First ball hunting up the middle. Fonte's got him. Nice move by Hosmer. 1 out. Abreu now 1 for 4.
Last year
8-0 for us. 1-4-1. Check that. 1-4-1 for us. 4-8-0 for them.
Last 2 years, the ERAs for Holland have been 121 and 144. To go with the 93 saves over 2 years, it was one of the great 2-year runs of any closer around.
And they're going to put the shift on. Moustakas moving over on the outfield grass, slightly on the outfield grass, into center field. A little bit of a deceptive motion, one you don't see all the time from Holland.
He's got a hesitation, then falls off drastically to the first base side. He's got a great overhand curve.
He gets that left side out of the way in a hurry. Two down. So the 20,236. Most of them come to their feet.
That one got a piece of Perez, and Bob Davidson's going out there to give him an opportunity to shake it off. Right off the inside of the right thigh.
Javi has gone out to right, grounded to short, and walked. Don't see many motions like that.
No, it's unusual, and the stuff is overwhelming.
Well off the plate. So the count hangs at 1-2. Big 3-run 6th inning, highlighted by a 2-run homer by Salvador Perez. Ball game and this series is over. So we come in here. We're two good ball clubs, and we just got out executed, out bullpenned. That bullpen has gone 8 innings in this series, and we got nothing off of them.
You got to do it against the starters. They had an opportunity against Danny Duffy last night. Got him for 5 runs. It wasn't enough. And this afternoon, not too many opportunities as Volquez gave up just the 4 hits, the 1 run. And at the end of the day, you're not going to score much against Holland. So the Royals start this season off with a 3-game sweep.
Well, we just put this one, forget it, wipe them off, and we'll go home and start anew. But let's check out our player of the game. It is the center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. He threw a lot of leather, a lot of lumber in this series. Had the game-winning home run in the 8th inning yesterday. Our player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer John Waldron, our associate producer Chris Kampka, our technical manager Mark Harper. Also for Sherry, Janice, Adam, and Rich, and also the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr. This is Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.